Humans are weird. Let's work it out. They aren't there. Now, Base Commander Third Trill said as he shuffled his notes. Ranger Radzik will be arriving shortly. Are we prepared? There was a soft susurration of agreement from the assembled department heads. The respective heads of botany and water quality departments were huddled close, gently talking over something. From the look of the odd contaminant that was appearing around the landing field, probably that. The ungulates were concerned about the matter, and the commander supposed that he would need to arrange a meeting to deal with their agitation next. He idly lifted a wing hook to rub a sensory horn, as he wondered why he had ever pursued a command career track. The door opened, and the new Shatar chief of medicine walked in. She shifted her attention from the readout on her datapad, and her antenna curled down into tight little coils. Her neck frill pulled down against her neck. The base commander braced himself for whatever she had found wrong with the situation. I was informed this was not a disciplinary hearing, First Sister said. It is not, the base commander replied quickly. We have assembled to show our united concern for Ranger Radzik. I brought my assistant too, the head of invertebrate research said, in case human friend Radzik requires mass cuddles. First Sister rotated her triangular head, and her proboscis flickered out to clean her already spotless eyes in a gesture that one didn't need to be a xenokinetics expert to understand was a gesture of exasperation. Finally, she spoke, after several painful seconds, where the base commander wondered if it would be acceptable to continue the briefing while their head medic remained standing in the middle of the room. The larger-bodied species were sometimes touchy about physical position. As the chief medic, First Sister said firmly, I must order this meeting dispersed, and quite quickly, except for the base commander, myself, and possibly the morale officer, though I would suggest that the morale officer leave as well. There was a murmur of surprise, and a few of the ungulates raised an appendage inquiry. Leave quickly, repeated First Sister. The answers to any questions you have will no doubt be found in the human psych profile under negative reactions to community inspection of emotional difficulties. The surprised murmur followed the various wings as they flew out of the meeting room, and the ungulates as they swam to the edge of their hydration pools and shuffled towards the doors. Base Commander Third Trill was very carefully keeping his fur smoothed down as he exchanged farewell greetings. He did not like having his authority challenged in this manner, but First Sister was an experienced medic who had spent almost the entirety of her civil service time among humans. If there was a reason to meet Ranger Radzik alone instead of in the comfort of his community, she would know of it. Before he could form the question, however, the human in question walked in. He gave a cheery wave to the departing ungulates before striding up and straddling his long legs over an entire workstation designed for Shatar. Base Commander, First Sister, Ranger Radzik greeted them with words that a polite Shatar-like rotation of his massive head. He was a rather nondescriptive human. He had avoided any obvious scarring so far. He was of average height for the giants, average skin tone, average fur density, average eye color, and even perfectly average tooth spacing. Except for the white of his teeth and his eyes, he was a near uniform shade of light brown. Quite frankly, he would do quite well for an illustration of human in a children's book of the 7 sapient species. He sat there idly swinging his legs as they waited for the slowest of the ungulates to make his way out of the room. Base Commander Third Trill was unobtrusively pulled up a separate report to work on while they waited. He had made several sentences of progress by the time the last ungulate made it out of the room. So, what did you need to talk to me about? Ranger Radzik asked. The base commander flicked his datapad back to the issue at hand. We were concerned about your mental health, Ranger Radzik, he said. The massive eyebrows rose in surprise and the human frowned. About what now? He asked, a sudden wary tone in his voice. The base commander gestured for First Sister to continue. It has been observed that you have displayed continual stress and discomfort indicators whenever you are outside the base, and for some time after you return, First Sister said. She flicked an antenna meaningfully at the base commander in what he took to be a reproachful gesture. As these displays, she went on, are of hunched shoulders, frequently checking your blind spot, and in general seem to be a response to an aerial predator, we are actually less pressingly concerned for your mental health than the commander makes it sound. Other than that your mental health would, of course, be impacted by... She cut short the sentence and gave a vague gesture towards the door. By getting eaten by whatever it is I'm reacting to, the human said with an understanding laugh. Several clusters of surveys reported no evidence of predator species, Base Commander Third Trill said in confusion. Yeah, no, Ranger Radzik said, nodding his head. You were right about it being a mental health thing. What mental health thing produces the symptoms of sensing an aerial predator? First Sister replied, curling one antenna down skeptically. It's the mountains, Ranger Radzik answered. The base commander turned to look at Second Sister in confusion, but the doctor was clearly just as perplexed as him. There are no mountains around this base, he said slowly. The land is uniformly flat for kilometers in every direction. That's the problem, Ranger Radzik said. I got used to mountains at my last station. Had them back home, too, all around the village I grew up in. Now it kind of bothers my brain that they're not there. I'll get over it, though. Very good, First Sister said, making a note. Would you mind discussing the issue with a few of the more active gossips on the base? Was I freaking out some folks? Ranger Radzik asked with a grin. You were, rather, First Sister said. Notably anybody who understood human body language. I'll spread the word around, Ranger Radzik said to Zero. That all? That is all, the base commander affirmed. The human left and Base Commander Third Trill felt more than saw First Sister focus her attention on him. Now, the doctor said, pulling up a terrifyingly dense data stream, since you did not know that it would be inadvisable to address a human's mental health in a group session, I think we have some instruction material to go over. Humans are weird, let's work it out. Available on Indiegogo for the month of October 2022. Monty Python meets Star Trek in this third book of human absurdity. This book joins its two siblings in a trilogy of human madness. You can find the first two books, author-signed first editions, at Indiegogo with book 3, or you can go on Amazon, Barnes & Noble, wherever books are available to get your copies of the first two books. Humans Are Weird, Let's Work It Out, Book 3 in the series, available on Indiegogo, October 2022.